Hey, I'm X.
And I'm Tiff.
And we're on
Zach Nichols Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you keep tuning in and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
Welcome back to the Zach Nichols Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Zach Nichols.
And more importantly, we have two very special guests to help get through the last week of the year, which people say is the most depressing week of the year.
Can be.
If you knew that.
Yes.
And it is.
It is.
The one and only
Wrote
X
after that.
and Tiffany.
Yes.
What some people would say is the better part of the cookout.
Oh, is that what they would say?
That's what I've been seeing.
That's your opinion.
starting
And
off with violence.
That's what the hashtags were saying.
Well, I am very new.
I mean, that's what CBS says.
Yeah, straight up. We know who got called back and who didn't. Whoa. Anyways, let's get started with the rest of the show. Just so y'all know, I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest reality TV historian. I'm just getting into the Big Brother universe, so I'm really excited to go back and watch your guys' season, especially to watch you, Tiff, because I've seen you in a full season of the challenge. So I want to see you in that environment. But welcome to the show. We got one Detroiter and one other Michigander. Round of applause for Michigan, please. Yeah.
Oh, y'all add the applause. Okay, I like that.
Michigan,
I like that.
I think Michigan creates more reality television personalities than any other state.
Oh, I think it creates more reality television like winners than any other state. Because like
True.
you won.
Laurel.
I've won. She was AFP.
Laurel, yeah.
Laurel's from Michigan too?
Laurel's from Birmingham.
Laurel's
For
from
real?
right
I think she
here.
went to Seaholm.
I did not know that.
No, I didn't
My
know
son
Laurel
goes
was
to
from Michigan
Seaholm.
too.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
know
God.
I think she went to she went to Birmingham. She's from Birmingham.
Laurel,
Wow.
you got a new sister, baby.
Oh no, Michigan's loaded.
Leroy's from Southfield.
Yeah, I
I
knew
did not
Leroy
know
was
that.
from Michigan.
I'm from Southfield.
Yeah, I told you that. Leroy.
You did,
Yeah.
but I didn't know until you told me.
Yeah. Well,
It's
he's
honestly
because
not.
when he turned 18, he left and went to
Okay.
Dallas, from Dallas to Vegas. He comes back every now and then in the holidays.
Okay.
And then we have Nicole Franzel up in
Yep.
Ugly.
Yeah. No.
think.
Oh, Michigan's loaded.
Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah.
We got Dan Kiesling.
Yep.
And let's
that's
just not
right.
sleep on Michigan as a whole. We've got Delicious from Flavor of Love. We got
That's
Hoot
right.
from Flavor
Delicious
of
was
Love.
That's right.
We've got Tondi from Ready to Love. Detroit
She going way
and
back in the
Michigan
reality
as a whole.
TV
I
space. She
really
going
am.
way
I'm
back.
giving respect
Yeah,
to
with
all
great
my
character.
Michigan people who
Oh,
have
yeah.
come from here and have made it successfully on reality TV. A lot of people sleep on Michigan, and I
I don't know
asked,
why.
so I'll tell you,
Hey,
I
better
asked
for us.
some of the producers, like the casting directors, like, why do you not do casting in Michigan? And they actually tried to tell me that they came here one time and they just only saw at maximum like a 7.
A 7.
I got casted out of Michigan, so thanks a lot. I guess I'm a 7.
I said, well, us 7s be making it, baby. You
Yeah.
don't sleep
For
on the
real.
7s.
Oh yeah, no
So let's get into that a little bit.
asterisks by those 7s.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, if you're a 7, then you know what I'm saying. I'm at least a 7.5, 8. Keep
But
it
we
real.
were some winners though, so they were sleeping. But we come in kicking the door down. We just look like that off rip, but really the energy we give, all-star quality.
Well,
I agree.
I love that you talk about winning. Talk about like you guys growing up. What made you guys competitive? What made you guys want to win at life? Because I know y'all both winners.
Go ahead, Tiff. I'll let you start.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
oh,
you're the
why?
number one
Ladies
Wow. No, he's the number one winner.
Well, you did just spend time with Santa.
This is true. This is true.
That's
So-
not anybody's
Well, you
business.
both did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You got to
I'm
get
the
real
favorite.
up close and personal.
I would have to
with
say
Santa.
though that that's a huge honor.
It is.
It's definitely an
They
honor.
could have invited a lot of people to do that, and they chose you.
So when I got the call and they go, I'm like, oh my gosh, a season of legends, and they were like, yes, but not to play.
Hey,
I said, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
I like the least amount of competition. It's a privilege for me to step from player to host. That is definitely a lateral move. So I was not disappointed at
I
all.
don't even think. I think sometimes there's more longevity in hosting.
Oh, for
Agreed.
sure. And
Agreed.
They
on
messed
top-
up. I fell in love with it.
Like, who wouldn't want to
Yeah.
be TJ? I know people are crazy about Jeff. Who wouldn't want to be Julie? Yo,
I'm
that's
not crazy
That's a
about
great.
Jeff.
Yeah, I know.
Nah.
I said some people. I know you're not. It's not your boy. But Survivor people die for him, and they should.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
their guy. I really think you have a future in that. In either one of those three or whatever. So
You know why?
Y'all keep Tiffany's number, guys.
This is so. I'm gonna be honest. So when I watched your Big Brother season, 'cause I didn't watch anyone. I didn't watch any season besides the last one in real
Okay.
time. I went back once. I was over being on. I was done with reality TV, and I was like, you know what? I should have done this before. But I went back and watched a lot of the seasons.
Okay.
Not a lot of single seasons. I think I did like 2 and 1, and I was like, this is so boring. Except for
No, 2 and 1. You can't do 2
Dr.
and 1.
Will is awesome.
Yeah.
Dr. Will's.
So then I watched 7, and then I watched like 12 or 13 on. And you came out and you were like, I've been cool since I was born. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. The only people who say that are, 1, people who are douchebags. But no. But 2, people who actually are fucking cool ass people. So I'm like, you know.
It could go either way.
So then I was like, I didn't know because I didn't meet you. And I'm like, okay, I'm watching. And I'm like, well, you know, you did come off as really cool. And I'm like, that could also, you know how editing can go. And then I saw you were like you were Roll Dogs with Johnny Bananas. And I was like, okay, she's cool. Because if you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Mentally, or you can keep up with his wit, you're fucking cool.
That's
Right.
nice.
You were his, yes. And like same thing with like Tanisha watching House of Villains. I'm like, I know she's cool as shit
Yes.
now. Because like that's the thing about Johnny. As much as someone may hate him, he's a cool dude.
He is.
and people love to hang out with him. So
You
I
just
was
have to
like,
get him.
yeah. As soon
I
as
messaged him and I go like, I love seeing that you have Tanisha. I said, she reminds me of me and you.
Yes.
He said, no one can be me and you. I said, you better know it.
and that was the
He's
cool
so
answer.
smooth. He is
Right?
so
So that was smooth, yeah. And so then with X, I'm like, okay, like you pulled your whole season, like I'm not winning on purpose. And I'm like, okay, only 2 people say that. People who are really only not trying to win, or people who are like embarrassed that they're not winning, so they want to make it seem like, well, I really could have won that. And so I'm wondering, I'm like, well, maybe. And then USA won, you kind of came out, but you had everyone against you, and partner elimination rounds are tricky.
Yeah.
But then on the reindeer games, you were literally back against the wall the whole time. And some of the things you did, I was really impressed with. Like that first one against
For sure.
Cameron, I'd never seen a puzzle make someone sweat before.
Doc, I was going
Hard.
to work.
I'm like, dude, like he's in great shape. I'm like, this puzzle's, he's working.
Yeah.
And that was an impressive win. And then he just got unlucky with that one against Nicole. And
Hey,
Tell
she
you
did her
what.
thing. That's
Yeah.
how it is sometimes. Like if you go into any given challenge or competition and you don't have like a locked-in strategy, or someone's strategy is better
Yeah.
than yours, they're gonna
Right.
beat you, and she did.
Exactly. And all those games on reindeer games, while they were like, you know, they're competitions, anyone can win those.
100%.
And so that's the
100%.
thing where I know I'd be terrible at Big Brother because I'm good at like the physical stuff. I'm those things that are like, I'm like a 45%er in the puzzles. Like I'm either this 45%, I'm either gonna get it right away, or I'm gonna be there until they're like, hey man, you timed out.
Times out. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
I'm either gonna get it or I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's
Right.
no like figuring out for me.
Right.
So that was really impressive. And that was
appreciate it.
think about it. All those legends there, you know, it's tough.
Yeah.
Talk about that first puzzle. Like,
Dog.
what was the time difference? Like, do you think you like blew him out, or like how'd it go?
So
Well, he finished before him.
Yeah.
So he didn't get a chance
first,
to finish.
Right.
so on my previous season of Big Brother, like traditional Big Brother, we did like, what was it, like an 8-piece or 9-piece puzzle.
3D puzzle.
That was cake. So here they come in, they're like, okay, 57 pieces. I was like,
Yeah, I'm
57?
done.
57
I'm
pieces.
done.
It was a
like a
57
week
piece puzzle.
project.
Oh yeah, I was like, okay, that's a bit more. And then they're like, oh, but it's not just like a one surface puzzle. Like there's levels
It is
to it. You
3D.
got to stack it.
Yes.
So like certain pieces are stacked on top, and you have to put them all. And so I was like, okay, so y'all took like the original puzzle, said like, fuck that child's play. Let's get
Yeah.
serious and make it like even more difficult. So as we got started, like first you had to take all the pieces out of the bag, and I was like, okay, this bag is taking fucking forever, but all right. And then we get the pieces out, and I'm like, okay, I go over to the map. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just memorize it, and then I'm gonna come back over here. And I'm looking at the pieces and all the different shapes and ways that they were cut. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna remember shit. Like, I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth. So then at first, because like I had surgery on my foot, and I was like, I'm not really trying to press it like that. But then it got to the point where I was like, okay, I can't think about that anymore. Like,
'Cause
I'm gonna have to.
he's a good player.
Oh yeah, Cam is a good competitor.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I'm sitting here worried about my foot, like I'm gonna go home. So at some point, I just got to turn up and like fuck the sweater, fuck the pants, like
Yeah.
get after it, go back and forth, and keep going. And that's when you see me like high stepping my way through the puzzle, getting all these pieces.
And it is 100 bands, so like 750, it's crazy because like, you know, like it's like somebody saying like, oh yeah, he's got $1 million, but what's the difference in $1 million and $1 billion? No, like they're money, bro. It's a lot of money. So
dude.
Yeah, and
Once you get a winning check too, you're like, dude, it doesn't matter. It changes.
it
life.
changes.
Yeah.
And like the fact when you look at like kind of the time value of money, I guess like the amount of time that it took for you to get that amount of money, beats like any kind of at-home work check. Like,
Right.
like it would have been.
Sure.
We were there for 10 days if you include like being sequestered in the hotel. So like 10 days, 100K. I don't know what job is paying that.
Nope.
You know, so it's like,
Yeah, no, like maybe like a one-way contract with the Yankees.
right, right.
You know,
Like, for real.
Yeah,
Right.
no, for real. Like, there's no, like, I mean,
Brock Purdy's making 430 for a year. You know what I mean?
I thought he was making
Poor Brock.
870.
Poor
I thought
Brock.
he was making 870.
I think he's making the rookie minimum. I'm not sure, but
Well,
Either way, he's getting paid.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
for 20 some weeks.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really impressive. So you guys didn't sleep in the Big Brother house in that
No.
experience. That's probably way nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was cool to be able to like. So we would get up at probably like they would wake us up anywhere between like 5 and like 6:30.
Yeah.
We'd be in our hotel. We would all get in the shuttle. So whoever was still in the game would be in the shuttle. They would take us to the set. We'd eat breakfast real quick, and then about 30 minutes after breakfast, we were in the house.
Gotcha.
In the house the rest of the time, and then like once we were done in the house, we would film our confessionals, and then they would take us back to the hotel. But it was cool to like not be in, but at the same time, from a social aspect, you kind of
Yeah, you lost that.
Yeah.
All those hours. And
yeah.
stuff.
So like it made it to where like socially, it was like, do people view you as a threat or not?
Yeah.
Like if they don't, you can kind of work some of a social angle. If they do, you're gonna have an uphill battle.
Right.
But like so like there was pros and cons with it. I personally liked kind of being able to go home because like when you went back to the hotel, you didn't really have to think about it as much.
Right.
You were able to clock out,
Yeah.
sleep and stuff. And on
like-
Big Brother, you don't really get to do that.
Yeah, that was like doing Champs for Stars when I was like, wait, we get to keep our phone? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, we get to stay in a hotel room? They're like, yeah. And there's no cameras in there. Like when I got to the room, I was looking around, I'm looking for wall cameras.
Right.
Yes.
Like, making sure. And I'm like, there's no cameras in here.
Facts.
So yeah, no, that was fun, and it changes the dynamic. You're right, it changes the dynamic a little bit. It becomes more about competition than the
Yeah.
social aspect because you can only socialize so much in the game. Which brings me to my next question: is what kind of law do you practice?
So
Are you practicing anymore?
Yeah, I'm
You
still
are.
practicing. I've been practicing since I came off Big Brother.
Gotcha.
Like if reality TV became like my career, that would be like cool. But I never went into like Big Brother with that as the
No, for sure,
expectation.
yeah.
So like I went back to law as soon as I got off, like after I went off the show, and I'm practicing. So my specialty, my firm's a business law firm. I specialize in data privacy and cybersecurity and
Okay,
investments.
gotcha.
That's like my
Yeah.
primary practice areas and employee
Yeah.
benefits.
Yeah, you're like probably one of the most intimidating guys on reality TV. Because not only were you able to keep that a secret from people, that means you kind of have to dumb down your personality, but also like the athletic side. So you, college athlete and a lawyer, like so you can think under pressure because the bar exam's not easy. I mean, I've heard from some of the law people that I work with that it's no joke.
No.
Especially in Michigan, I heard it's even.
So I didn't have to take the Michigan bar. So in Wisconsin, you have what's called the diploma privilege, which means if you
Gotcha.
graduate from a Wisconsin law school, you don't have to take the bar exam at all. You're admitted straight into practice. So like I graduated I believe on like May 20th. That next week, I was already working part-time for my law firm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was nice. But like, I was prepared to take the Michigan bar. I had already
That's right,
had my
you live in
study.
Milwaukee now.
Yeah, I live in Milwaukee now.
Gotcha.
I was
That makes
prepared to take the Michigan bar and move back to Michigan, and then like my law firm, which is a bigger law firm in the region, offered me a job, and I was like, well, looks like I'm gonna be chilling in Wisconsin for a bit.
Yeah, was
Leave it to the lawyer to find the loophole. Man.
Right.
Yeah, was your boss a Big Brother fan?
No, not at all. So
Oh,
like,
so that conversation was probably fun.
yeah, so I had been working at the firm for about a year.
Yeah.
And then I'm going through the process on Big Brother, which is like, it was very similar to like the process for getting admitted to the bar. Like just as strenuous, got to get all the addresses, all like know everybody that you've known since kindergarten, like all that shit. And I go up to my boss and I'm like, my boss and the CEO of the firm, I'm like, hey, I might be gone for up to 100 days and I can't tell you why. And they were like,
Witness
okay,
protection program.
right? They're like, "Are you okay? Are you safe?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good. I just like I just can't tell y'all why I'm going, and you'll find out eventually because like it'll come out." And
Yeah.
they were like, "Okay, well, they made me sign a contract with pretty much like, hey, don't make an ass of yourself on TV,
Yeah.
and if you don't do that, you'll have a job when you come back." I was like, "Great." So it was
amazing,
honest-
actually.
Oh, my firm was
Yeah,
actually
that's
So
amazing.
they knew it was for TV then.
they knew it was for TV, but
Okay,
they didn't know like
gotcha.
what show, and I couldn't like get into details. And
Right.
eventually, it all came out because like,
Gotcha.
and they were the only ones who knew. Like I only told the higher ups because you can't tell anybody. Big Brother is very like hush hush about that
Right.
stuff. And so like eventually the show gets started, and like people realize I'm on the cast, and so like because everyone else I just like disappeared without a reason. So they're like,
It's
is
funny.
X dead? Like,
The don't make a ass of yourself clause was the reason why you didn't put those paws on Kylan.
Well, we'll get there. Let's just go there right now. So the cookout.
Yeah.
Who's the mastermind? You were Big D.
Do you really think Big D is the mastermind?
Well, I've never met.
And I love Big D. He's one of my best friends, but
That's your
never.
podcast partner.
That is my baby. That's my husband.
That's
But
our guy.
he's not.
He literally
not.
posted it the other day.
Yeah.
Literally tweeted the other day. I was the mastermind of the cookout.
So
Yeah, he's trolling.
What I find with Big D, I think he wants credit for getting everyone together.
Yeah,
And I
he's
think,
God.
but I don't think it's ever been a question of who kind of put the plan together for our group, or at least I feel like that's been resolved. Like everyone knows that's Tip.
Gotcha.
I think he wants credit for putting everyone together,
so-
which I'm gonna let him.
So he's trying to take like a.
So
he's trying to take like
Pierre.
a assist.
He's
He wants
Pierre. He
something.
said I'm the reason why X and Tiff and Zach are here right now. I contacted them and I got them here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just take credit for
So
the
yeah,
name.
he wants like that.
He definitely came up with the name.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm slow. He comes past me in the kitchen. He's like, the cookout. I was like,
That is-
what's
it was
that?
Yeah, she was
Now,
like,
look,
who,
I
who the
was
fuck
white.
cooking? We got
I was
barbecue
like,
sauce.
what?
We got hot sauce. Who cooking?
What is the cookout?
I was
like,
like,
the
girl, if you
cookout.
don't wake the fuck up. Like,
He's like, that's us. I was like, I'm Tiff. Oh, okay. My bad. I got it. That's our name.
Yeah.
Why? Look, I'm like this. Why'd you come up with that?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so we gotta go back to Detroit. Is what I'm hearing. We gotta go back home. Real quick.
So, and here's the other crazy part. Thus far, every single member of the cookout has come back to the television. We've gotten to watch them, except for Big D, right? Because Azza was on USA
Hannah
one.
has.
Oh no, Hannah hasn't. But isn't she a student at Georgetown?
yeah, she's in med
Yeah,
school, so
yeah.
like she's focusing on her
Right.
priorities.
So I'm sure she got a report.
She's gotten called.
She's gotten the call.
She's gotten
Yeah.
called. Yeah.
Big D's the only one, and it appears that he's very thirsty to get back on TV. Am I wrong though? He
Zach,
wants
you
back
just,
on.
You're just too honest on that for me right now. It's too early.
So he definitely wants another shot to
Right.
be able to get on TV and show what he can do.
But outside of a Big Brother type game or like maybe Amazing Race, like I don't know if he's castable on the challenge, and I don't know if he's castable on Survivor.
yeah.
So I don't, and I wonder why. 'cause
think
he
that
was
the
good. He
shows-
was good TV.
I think that this shows that he is
Agreed.
more interested in being cast for, such as the Survivor, Amazing Race, the Challenge, are just not his wheelhouse.
Right.
And he's not realizing that there are plenty other shows that he could benefit from being cast for. And you know, our contract really just expired, where our exclusivity
Now you
is
can go
up,
outside of CBS.
so he can. And we've all tried to encourage him to try out for things and reach out to people and create reels for himself, such as like Traders or
Yeah, that would be a good one for him. Or House of Villains.
I was
House
just
of
gonna say
Villains.
House of
Yeah,
Villains.
but he
think-
wasn't a villain. He
I
was
mean,
everybody's-
Bad Girls Club, East,
Oh, that's
South,
true.
West.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options. There's a lot of
Yeah.
options.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't be on TV. I'm just wondering if maybe that's why. It's because it's not. I don't even think he would enjoy being on the challenge. To be, if you want my honest opinion.
I don't think that he would benefit from being on the challenge.
No,
and I
he-
think that he feels like he brings the same type of energy. Like, I'm going to create some drama. I'm going to knock someone out in a hall brawl. But you just never know if that's where you're going to end. Zach, fix your face. I'm uncomfortable. I want
He's gonna knock someone out in
Zach's
the hall,
face.
bro.
It was Zach's face.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, I mean, listen, I'd love to see him back on TV.
my mic
but-
on. Turn it off.
I had to mess with it a little bit. Yeah, no. Best of luck if you get into a hall brawl. But like, hey, you said it. Like I said, I'm still getting familiar with the cookout myself. But from what I've seen, you seem to get a lot of credit for that. So we'll just leave it at that. Talk to us about.
I do want to say we all should receive credit in our respective positions. Like X had a position, we all had a role to play, and it was
Always.
unspoken.
Yeah.
And all six of us knew what we needed to do.
Yeah.
Me and Big D needed to create friction to kind of throw everyone off. X was kind of the one that kept us, like when we all had something going on, we'd come to X and he'd solve it. Hannah was the baby, and we knew if you don't do it for anybody, you do it for the baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Mind you,
and then
she's the
Azza
smartest
Feta,
member of the group.
She is the smartest person in the house. She had the highest IQ of any
Crazy.
of us.
That's why.
Hannah is
And
a
that's
prodigy.
Like, that's recorded because they take
Oh yeah.
those.
No,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I thought was like interesting is like you're right. Like on a championship team, everyone plays their role.
That's right.
But Big Brother's an individual
And there's
game.
only
That's why
one winner.
people are.
But so that's-
people were like,
So anyway.
well, "What are y'all doing?" Sometimes, from what like I said,
Oh, yeah.
from what I've
But-
heard, it's like, "What are y'all doing? You're playing a team game in an individual sport." But talk to me why it worked for y'all. That concludes the free preview of the Zach Nichols podcast.
So go to Patreon and subscribe to see the rest of the shit that we talk.
Go do it now.